everyone, I'm Joanne from Joanne Tech Lover here for Elric with Tech of Tomorrow, and he looks much better now, and I'm really glad to see that he's up and walking and smiling and just full of energy. And also, I miss this little guy. So little and so cute, huh? Anyway, I'm back today for an episode on my top 5 favorite keyboards, so let's get started. The first keyboard on my mind is the K70 RGB, and I know it was like super like highly anticipated last year, and it doesn't disappoint. So I really love the RGB lighting, of course. I mean, that was, I believe at the time, the only keyboard of its kind to do that. And the software does need a bit of tweaking, as in the group lighting effect is still, you know, not as user-friendly, but I have to say that being able to program the rainbow, any kind of rainbow effect that you want, and the speed as well as the type of effect like wave or ripple, I mean, that's just really sick. I mean, it's probably the only keyboard of its kind that is that complicated in its lighting effects. And unlike the original K70, the RGB does come with a fully programmable board, which is always cool, especially if you play a lot of games and you have to set a lot of macros, things like that. It's also very complex, but I'd say complex in a good way. Now, what I do wish it had were PBT keycaps. I know they used to be very popular, but I think they should start bringing them back. However, I did replace my current set with a whole set of white Vortex PBT caps, and the LEDs look amazing with it. Next up on the list is another RGB keyboard, the Razer Black Widow Chroma, and I have to say how bright, you know, the lighting is, how intense it is. It was very impressive, and I don't know how they were able to do it, but it's just one bulb on top of the housing, whereas the K70, the bulbs are under this clear housing. And also really like how simple the software is. It's very user-friendly, but you know, on the other hand, it's a bit too simple in some ways, as in there weren't enough lighting effects. You couldn't add, you know, certain lighting effects to a certain group. However, I believe they've changed that, and I don't have it on me today, I'm sorry, but you could definitely check it out on my channel, the full review anyway. But yeah, that's the Razer Black Widow Chroma. And let's move away from RGB lighting to Toprays. That was also a big deal in the last year, even though Toprays aren't exactly new, but I think Cooler Master made them a bit more mainstream last year. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the Cooler Master Nova Touch. What I like about it is that it's got this stealth look to it, not too many logos, and the Topray switch is more of a silent variant. If you compare it next to MX Browns, for example, they should be more quiet. And also with this Topray switch, you get a faster debounce time, that means quicker responses, so for gaming it's really good. And for a Topray keyboard, they do include, I believe, media keys and the Windows lock, and that wasn't heard of anyway, until I saw that. And as for cons, I think that, of course, there's no LED backlighting. However, once again, bringing back the Vortex PBT keycaps, it is possible to have clear legends, so hopefully they'll introduce that. And one last thing is that no programmability, so no macros or anything like that. But, you know, maybe some of you don't need it for gaming. So next up, like Cooler Master, this one came before it. This is the Realforce 87U. It's a white 10 keyless Topray keyboard, and oh my goodness, it feels like butter. It's like your fingers are gliding on butter. It's quite amazing, and I would say it's even more silent than the Nova Touch, which for some of you might be a perk. And also it's compact, but I know some of you know, need a numpad, kind of like me. I crunch numbers anyway, and they do have a dedicated numpad in a very interesting location, like on the middle set of keys, I believe, and they're on the lower keycap. They're on the keycap, but on the bottom edge, and it works. I mean, you know, and I just thought that was really unique, and that stood out to me. Also, I love that it's PBT keycaps. I mean, that's quality right there. It's quality. And as for the cons, like the Nova Touch, the Realforce 87U, that one also doesn't have LED backlighting. I mean, maybe for the caps lock, but like overall, or you know, any macro programmability function. But hey, like I said, not for everybody. And last but not least is the Ducky Shine 4, also a really exciting keyboard from last year. I believe it released November 2014, but do not quote me on that. And with Ducky, it is all about the lighting. Reminds me of the song, all about the bass, about the bass. Anyway, so it's all about the lighting. And what's cool about it is you don't need software to run it, although it's a little bit complicated in that you have to kind of memorize that function and what keys go with what in order to get the lighting effect that you want with the lighting profile that you want. And well, let's just say once you play with it a bit, it becomes a lot easier. And also, I really love some of the effects that Ducky has. It's different from what I've seen on other keyboards. For example, a lot of keyboards have ripple or wave, but Ducky has something called, what is that called? The rain effect. It's like pitter-pattering on your keyboard and it looks like it's raining, but different colors, so that is really cool. But unfortunately, it's not RGB because they only gave you 2 colors, red and blue. But I'm hoping or thinking that by next year, or by the end of this year, they will bring out the RGB version, meaning they're just going to introduce, you know, a green, you know, LED switch so that you can adjust the red and the blue and the greens to the intensity level that you want to achieve the color that you want. However, it's probably not going to be true RGB as in, you know, 16.8 million colors or anything like that, but still think it's gonna be pretty fun. I mean, with the naked eye, how, you know, most people can't tell anyway. But yeah, and also as for the lighting effects, I think it might be less complicated if they did have some software. But there aren't too many cons with Ducky, as I think they are also a really solid keyboard in terms of quality, as in dual layer PCB, solid steel, things like that. One kind of annoying con for the Ducky Shine 4, if you're a gamer and use the Windows lock key a lot, is that you'll have to flip a dip switch on the bottom of the keyboard in order to lock Windows. No one wants that. I mean, it would be nice if it was just on the keyboard, even if it was just a function key. But yeah, that's what I have to say about the Shine 4. Well, I guess that wraps up my personal look at the top 5 favorite keyboards of, I guess you could say, 2014. And hey buddy, I think you've shed like 10 pounds of fur on me. That's a great way to go, isn't it? Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more about these keyboards, go ahead and check out my channel, Joanne Tech Lover. All the reviews are on there if you want a closer look. And I really enjoy being here. Love seeing Jesus, as well as Elric, of course. Well, thanks for having me. Tech of tomorrow. And I'll see you later, bitches. Yeah. Just kidding. Bye. I'm Buddy. I mean, this is Buddy. I'm Joanne. And, alright, here we go. I think he keeps farting. It's okay. I'm so used to just farts. It's like, whatever. Okay, my throat. Well, last but not least. One time I don't. Okay, I'm not.